Today, we are once again gonna go through how to talk to anyone. Great. It's a good book. It really is a good book, and therefore we're also just talking about it. Like, I think this is the 6th episode or something. Might also be the 5th. I am actually not quite sure. There's actually many of them right now, and we haven't quite finished it yet. So there's also going to be a few coming, I guess. But it's just really an amazing book, and I think that we all can learn something from that. Whether it is something really amazing or just something, I think we really can. But yeah, I'm going to see you after the intro, as always. As always. And as every day. And as you can maybe hear or see and whatnot, today I'm once again having my quote-unquote old microphone, or my old smartphone used as a microphone, because I found a cable yesterday, because yesterday I was sitting at the exact same place there, and I was like plugging in my pluggity-plug thing into my phone, just waiting till it is just loading, because I've only had, I think, 7% or something, and nothing was working. And then I thought, well, god damn it. I just don't need that right now. I just don't need a just broken cable at this point in time, especially based on the fact that I am not quite able or willing to buy myself a new one and go out and buy myself a new one. It's not that of a good thing. I just want to stay at home, want to stay there and be quote-unquote safe, I guess. And then I've just thought, well, I'm actually having another one, It has always been broken, and I thought that it is broken, but I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna try it out and see whether it actually is indeed broken. And I plugged it in, and everything is working really fine. There's no problem, there's no just tweaking thing, there's no whatever. It's insane. Even though I think only one side is working, so you can just kind of turn it, and then it is not working once again. But yeah, I don't know, and I look like a fucking dumbass because I'm having like this. I'm gonna have it like this, I'm gonna have it like this. But yeah, with that being said, we're just gonna go ahead with the summary. I know the book notes by the civis.org site, all the links are down in the description. And also a summary should hopefully also be there. By the way, I haven't checked it for quite some time. I'm only just doing it monthly. I shouldn't be doing this, because I'm always highlighting things, and I should kind of make my library or gallery even bigger. Part 6, how to differentiate the power of praise from the folly of flattery. Mind-boggling, isn't it? Sociologist research shows, first of all, a compliment from a new person is more potent than from someone you already know. Second of all, your compliment has more credibility when given to an unattractive person or an attractive person whose face you've never seen. I see. Third of all, you're taken more seriously if you preface your comments by some self-effacing remark, but only if your listener perceives you as higher on the totem pole. If you're lower, your self-effacing remark reduces your credibility. Well. I think, and I also have to say that, like, I've always wondered, and I'm pretty happy that he's talking about that, how to really praise, because, I mean, if I just, and it is something that happened, like, I'm having a girlfriend, by the way, but if I just notice that somebody's looking really good on a particular day, then I'm also just willing to say that. And I'm also quite forcing myself to say that, because I know it is something those people like. Not only those people, but everyone likes to just be called something in a good sense, not something bad and whatnot. And so I just quote-unquote push myself to do that, because, I don't know, it's always nice. And especially because it is honest, like, it is really the thing that I think about. And, I mean, sometimes it can be a little bit strange, I guess. Quite, and sometimes it is fine. So I'm really looking forward to what he's talking about there. How to compliment someone without sounding like you're brown-nosing. I think this is the exact same thing that I need, isn't it? Technique, grapevine glory. A compliment one hears is never as exciting as the one he overhears. A priceless way to praise is not by telephone, not by telegraph, but by tell a friend. This way you escape possible suspicion that you are an apple polishing, boot licking, egg sucking, back scratching, sycophant trying to win brownie points. You also leave recipients with the happy fantasy that you are telling the whole world about their greatness. So it's actually a two-sided good thing, as I'm just saying it right there, I assume. How to be a career pigeon. I think it's pigeon, isn't it? Or pigeon of good feelings. Technique, carrier pigeon kudos. People immediately grow a bake and metamorphosize, what the fuck is that, themselves into career pigeons when there is bad news. It is called gossip. Instead, become a carrier of good news and kudos. Whenever you hear something complimentary about someone, fly to them with the compliment. Your fans may not posthumously stuff you and put you on display in a museum like Stumpy Joe, but everyone loves to carry a pigeon of kind thoughts. Well, indeed. And I think in general, like, everyone that is known to just be a good, friendly, and person you can be around and love, not in terms of loving somebody, but love, like smiling and stuff, then I think it's just always a good thing. Like, everyone wants to, first of all, be remembered as such a person, and second of all, everyone likes those people, I guess, Unless, of course, like, there's gonna also be some people that just want to have the gossip and want to have the negativity and want to have that bullshit, but there's always that kind of people. How to make him feel your admiration, which, by the way, is just slipped out, quote unquote, just slipped out. I gotta have to say, like, praising somebody and complimenting somebody is just really not easy, especially if you just do not want to get it across as like, okay, I want to suck your dick, and I want to eat your ass and shit, it's I don't know, and I think it is especially the case when you think and maybe also know, it depends, I guess, that the person might be complimented by quite a few people, and I think it just also depends on the agenda. Like, of course, when I'm complimenting some of my dudes, then it's just completely something different than if I go to some girl and say like, okay, you look pretty nice today. I just really like those jacket, or I really like those shoes, I really like whatnot, and because of course they think like, oh, he just wants my fucking ass. Sometimes, not always. Not everyone is like that. So yeah. How to make him feel your admiration, quote unquote, just slipped out. Technique, implied magnificence. Throw a few comments into your conversation that presuppose something positive about the person you're talking with. But be careful. Don't blow it like the well-intentioned maintenance man. Okay? Or the southern boy who, at the prom, he was flattering his date when he told her, "Gosh, Mary Lou, for a fat gal." I like the book. "Gosh, Mary Lou, for a fat gal, you dance really good." I think you shouldn't be. I gotta have to read it once again because I didn't understand the point. So yeah. Throw a few comments into your conversation that presuppose something positive about the person you're talking with. But be careful, don't blow it like the well-intentioned maintenance man or the southern boy who at the prom thought he was flattering his date when he told her blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna read it once again because the joke gets bad after some fucking time, How to win their heart? What? Their hears? What is a hear? By being an undercover complimenter. Technique, accidental adulation. Become an undercover complimenter. Stealthily sneak praise into the parenthetical part of your sentence. Just don't try to quiz anyone later on your main point. The joyful jolt of your accidental adulation strikes them temporarily deaf to anything that follows. I didn't really get that one, but I assume that you're just not making it so obvious, I guess. Being like, well, oh yeah, for a fat guy. You look pretty hot today. I think there's also something different. I mean, if you say like, okay, you're fucking hot today, I just really would bang you. Then it is something different than if you say like, okay, I really like those shoes, like they are fucking nice. Something different, I would say. I would argue. Can I please, motherfucker? Is it broken once again? Can I please? Oh, it's loading. It is loading. And hopefully, yes, of course. How to make him never forget you with a killer compliment. Quote unquote killer compliment. Technique, the killer compliment. Whenever you're talking with a stranger you'd like to make part of your professional or personal future, search for one attractive, specific, and unique quality her or she has. At the end of the conversation, look the individual right in the eyes, say his or her name, and proceed to curl all 10 toes with the killer compliment. A killer compliment is more like what exquisite eyes you have, which is very specific, or you have a wonderful air of honesty about you, which is very personal. So I assume, that it is not something like, okay, you're really looking good today. Not something that's so plain and bullshitty and whatnot, but something really specific, like, I don't know, like your pimples look, you're such a fat gal, but Who the fuck would actually say something? But yeah, anyway, just really specific things. Like when it is about the eyes, when it is just some very specific thought about the hair, when it is about something, because everyone is gonna just say to a specific person that might be very attractive, like, okay, you're really looking good today. Like, I don't know. Like, I think the majority is saying it also in this way, like, of course. But nah, I mean, being the different and being the difference, I guess. Not such a piece of shit. But also just being a nice person. How to make them smile with itty bitty boosters. Can't I just... No, I can't skip once again. Am I? No, I can't. The question is why? Why everything is always broken with these things. Nevertheless, how to make a smile with itty bitty boosters. Technique, little strokes. Don't make your colleagues, your friends, your loved ones look at you and silently say, haven't I been pretty good today? Question mark. Let them know how much you appreciate them by caressing them with verbal little strokes like nice job, well done, and cool. Yeah, indeed. I think like those are the little praises. Like, okay, you just really did a good job there. I appreciate that. Like, it's a fucking amazing what you did there. So I believe it is good. I believe it is cool. And I think it also, especially when you're like a boss or something or a leader, that you praise the people when you should be praising them, and that you're not praising them when you should not. Quite, I would say, because I mean, I think there's some quality to a praise, and if you're just praising somebody way too much, then it kind of loses those qualities or this quality and or the significance of it, I guess. How to praise with perfect timing. Technique, the knee jerk, wow. Quick as a blink, you must praise people the moment they finish a feat. In a wink, like a knee jerk reaction, say, you were terrific. Don't worry that they won't believe you. The euphoria of the moment has a strangely numbing effect on the achiever's objective judgment. I'm gonna read it once again. Quick as a blink, you must praise people the moment they finish a feat. Yeah, indeed. Yes, indeed. I mean, if you wait for a few minutes, maybe for an hour or something, then first of all, it is a little bit of a strange thing. Even though, yeah. Why aren't you working? Now you work. I'm gonna read it once again. You know what? I'm gonna read it once again. There you have it. How to praise with perfect timing. Technique, the knee jerk, wow. Quick as a blink. I think now it is working. Seems to be working. I hope it is working. Let's just stay with, I hope it is working. Perfect timing is important. Like, this is the point of the whole just thing there. Timing is important. If there's not good timing, then it could be strange. Quite. How to make him want to compliment you. Technique, boomeranging. Just as a boomerang flies right back to the thrower, let compliments boomerang right back to the giver. Like the French quickly murmur something that expresses, that's very kind of you. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. How to make a loved one feel you're the partner for life. Like indeed, I mean, as Sivas or Derek also just said in the whole introduction thing to this piece, it is a little bit flowery. I think we just have to admit that, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Technique, the tombstone game. Ask the important people in your life what they would like engraved on their tombstone. Chisel it into your memory. Hello, now it is working once again. You piece of shit. I don't know why, like it is just switching from on and off just all the fucking time. I don't understand that. Well, I'm reading it once again. How to make a loved one feel you are the partner for life. Technique, the tombstone game. Ask the question people in life what they would like engraved on their tombstone. Chisel it into your memory, but don't mention it again. Then, when a moment is right to say, I appreciate you or I love you, fill the blanks with the very words they gave you weeks earlier. You take people's breath away when you feed them with their deepest self-image to them in a compliment. At last, they say to themselves, someone who loves me for who I truly am. We say to ourselves, maybe the world will no long remember how brilliant, how wonderful, how witty, how creative or how caring I really am. However, those who truly know and love me, they will recognize my greatness, my magic, my specialness over all other ordinary mortals. When we find people with supernatural powers of perception to recognize our remarkableness, whatever, we become addicted to the heady drug of their appreciation. Telling him or admire him for the same reason he admires himself has an impact on Joe like no other compliment in the world. And I would say this as well. I think I gotta have to say, like, it just makes sense. Just makes sense. There's so many things in the summary, it just makes sense, and it's just a good strategy and a good thing to do. But of course, it also takes some time to do that. Like, you have to remember it, you have to wait till the right point is, or the right point of time is, and all those things. Like, it's good. It's good. Part 7, how to dial their hearts. Oh, direct dial, yeah. Or dial, I think it's dial, isn't it? Should I start with it? Yeah, I should. There's a few things left, and I'm happy about that. I really am. How to sound more exciting on the phone. So this is all about the phone right now, I guess. I'm not quite sure. Technique, talking gestures. Think of yourself as the star of a personal radio drama. Every time you pick up the phone, if you want to come across as engaging as you are, you must turn your smiles into sound, your nods into noise, and all your gestures into something your listener can hear. You must replace your gestures with talk, then punch up the whole act 30%. Yes, indeed. I think communicating what you do through one channel, because I mean, if you have a look at a person, then you're having multiple channels. You're having mimics, gestures, the voice, and what he speaks and whatnot, or she speaks. But if you just only listen to somebody on the phone, or if you just talk to somebody on the phone, there's only one channel. There's only the voice. And we can consciously use our voice, I think, and I really believe in that. And I think it really is also a huge point, like tonality. It really does impact a lot of things when it comes to communication, I would say, because I can be sarcastic when I say something, just by the tone of my voice. I can be angry. I can be just complimentary, if this is a word. I actually don't know. But all those things, like the voice that we're having, the tone of voice, is indeed important, and we have to have a look at it. How to sound close even if you're 100 of miles away. Yes. Technique, name shower. People perk up when they hear their own name. Indeed. Use it more often on the phone than you would in person to keep their attention. Your caller's name recreates the eye contact, the caress you might give in person. Saying someone's name repeatedly when face-to-face sounds pandering, yes indeed. But because there is a physical distance between you on the phone, sometimes you are a continent apart, you can spray your conversation with it. Nowadays, I think it's the same exact thing in advertising as well. When we are seeing our names in an ad, then we're going to be like, what's that? Oh, as well as just some other words as free and sex and all those things that just grab our attention, yeah. How to make them happy. They called you. Technique, oh wow, it's you. Don't answer the phone with an I'm just so happy all the time attitude. Answer warmly, crisply, and professionally. Then, after you hear who is calling, let a huge smile or happiness engulf your entire face and spill over into your voice. You make your caller feel as though your giant, warm, fuzzy smile is reserved for him or her. Indeed, the only problem that I'm seeing there is that we always know who's fucking calling, It's not gonna be a lot of people that call you with any number, quite, by the way, wonder how old the book is. But as far as I know, there was a book with 62 things, and this is the book with 92 things, as far as I remember. So it's, I think it was updated, but it must have been quite some time ago by the statement, or according to the statement, I guess. How to sneak past the gatekeeper. Technique, the sneaky screen. If you must screen your calls, instruct your staff to first say cheerfully, oh yes, I'll put you right through. May I tell her who's calling? If the party has already identified himself, it's, oh, of course, Mr. Woozit. Okay, of course. I'll put you right through. When the secretary comes back with the bad news that Mr. or Mrs. Bigwig is unavailable, callers don't take it personally and never feel screened. They fall for it every time, just like I did. Very sad, actually. But I still have to go through it once again because, yes, I didn't really get it or got it. If you must screen your calls, instruct your staff to first say cheerfully, oh yes, I'll put you right through, and then they're gonna be happy. Yeah, I see it. May I tell her who's calling? If the party has already identified himself, it's, oh, of course, Mr. Woozit. I'll put you right through. I see. When the secretary comes back with the bad news that Mr. and Mrs. Bigwig is unavailable, okay, I see. I think it's a good one. How to get what you want on the phone from big shots. Technique, salute the spouse. Whenever you're calling someone's home, always identify and greet the person who answers. Whenever you call someone's office more than once or twice, make friends with the secretary. Yes, I think is a good idea. Anybody who is close enough to answer the phone is close enough to sway the VIP's opinion of you. As indeed. I think in general the secretary is often a big. It could be a burden, could be a really big burden, but also just a big use for you and your thing you want to do, I guess, if you can say it like this, I don't know. How to get what you want by timing. Technique, what color is your time? What the fuck? No matter how urgent you think your call, No matter how urgent you think your call, always begin by asking the person about timing. Either use the what color is your time device or simply ask, is this a convenient time for you to talk? When you ask about timing first, you will never smash your footprints right in the middle of your telephone partner's sense of time. Yes, indeed. You will never get a no just because your timing wasn't right. And most often, I don't know, like people, at least this is the case for me, I never say no in general. Like if somebody says like, hey, is it bad timing? Unless it really is indeed bad timing. But this is, okay, it might just not be the case very often for me that it is bad timing, I guess. But yeah. The last one. How to impress everyone with your outgoing voicemail message. Technique, constantly changing outgoing message. If you want to be perceived as conscientious and reliable, leave a short, professional and friendly greeting as your outgoing message. No music, no jokes, no inspirational messages, no boasts, bells or whistles, and here's the secret, change it every day. Your message doesn't have to be flawless. A little cough or stammer gives a lovely, unpretentious reality to your message. Yes, indeed it does. So now it is loading once again because of whatever reason. No, it's not. Question of the day. The question of today is gonna be, I would actually always want to go for this one because it is so good and it is so important and it makes so much sense. I think, I believe, I guess. I'm not sure. No, I'm actually sure about that. You know what? I'm gonna go for it once again. Could you make somebody else's life better by doing something? Or by making things better, by making something, by doing something great, by producing something great, by having a great service, by just being a nicer person, by just saying people like, okay, I appreciate what you're doing. I like that. Out of nowhere, like, I don't know. I think it also feels good to just be a good person, I would say. But yeah, with that being said, I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to write something you're going to be remembered. It basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and being remembered as a nice person. And yeah. With that being said, 3 other questions that I have you are, why are you here, what are you trying to change, and what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is always a good thing, which is always nice to have, some business ideas, some stuff, some future thoughts, whatnot. Yeah, indeed. But yeah, I'm going to see you the next time, I at least hope, and then bye-bye, I would say. Yes, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like, I appreciate that so much. Yeah, of course, using German language. No, not gonna do that. Of course, please, I've forgotten. Fuck. I would actually like to be able to just really share my feelings with people a little bit more. Because if I say like, okay, I'm so happy about that, like, yeah, okay, you're happy about it, of course. But I just really mean it. Anyway, I'm gonna see you.